All right, it's your man DJ Seiko, and doing the fly guy, fly girl thing. We got the fly girl in the house. Introduce yourself, fly girl.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kyleah Parson.
She did say doctor, yo. She did say doctor. Give it up for the doctor. All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, good. So what type of doctor are you? You know, if my arm falls up, should I call you? You know,
Absolutely not. I am not a medical doctor.
Okay.
My brother said that a couple of years ago. I am a doctor of education, policy, planning, and leadership. I got my PhD from William and Mary.
Oh, okay. Go Tribe. My
yeah.
My good people are from William and Mary. I'm a Hamptonian. You know that. I'm bougie.
Yeah.
Black and bougie. All right. So you're passionate, if I understand, you're passionate about helping people financially.
Yes.
But your doctorate is in education.
It is.
There's a story there. All right. Tell me the story.
Well, the story is, growing up, I always wanted to be a teacher. My mom taught culinary arts at Granby High School for about 30 years. And while I was a student at Booker T and then going on to Norfolk State, I was really passionate about teaching, especially in my area. So I actually went back to Booker T after I got my master's in curriculum and instruction from William and Mary, and taught at my high school alma mater for about 5 years. And it was my goal to become a urban superintendent. So I always wanted to kind of move away, go to like a Boston, Baltimore, Atlanta, Miami-Dade, just a huge inner city, and become their superintendent. But my father has always been an entrepreneur. I've never known him to work for anyone besides himself.
Wow.
So a couple of years ago, he was really kind of getting antsy regarding the future of the business. He was trying to find, a young person to kind of groom the business around. He was actively seeking other people to take over the business. Because, as my father is 67 years old now. So when you're trying to, So in doing your, planning and looking towards the future, he was just trying to make sure that the business continued even when he did not. And I just did not want to see the business going on to a stranger. So I prayed about it, and I took a leap of faith, and I quit my job with Norfolk Public Schools. I started working with CLP full-time about 5 years ago.
Wow. That's a big leap.
A huge, huge leap. But technically, I've always been an employee of CLP. You know how it is when you have a family business. Even as a little kid, there's pictures of me and my brother. I was maybe 6 and he was 4. And we were sitting on the floor, folding papers, stuffing envelopes. In high school, I used to answer the phones in the office. When I turned 19, I became a licensed insurance agent, so I started selling Medicare supplements after school while I was teaching. So I've actually had my license. I've been a licensed and bonded agent for more than 15 years now. Well, almost 20 years now. So,
wow.
Yeah, the business is just in my blood. But my passion was education. But now I'm kind of mixing my family legacy with what I really want to do. So I'm teaching still, just in a different fashion.
Okay. Wow. So you were on track to become a superintendent, and you moved back to the family business. You're still in education, but it's not an education for the teenagers, for the high school or the middle school or the elementary. You're working with families now to make sure that they're financially solvent. Okay.
Correct.
So who's the bigger fool, the high school student or the parents when it comes to, because I know adults, we can do some foolish stuff when it comes to money.
Yes, we can.
All right.
It's just unfortunate, especially in our community, we're really not taught good money discipline. We're taught, how to go out here and survive, get a job, go to college. But as far as money is concerned, saving, planning for retirement, really being a good steward of our dollar. That's not our forte. So that's what we're really trying to bring to our community, really teaching our people how to plan effectively for the future.
Okay. And how challenging is that? Because people don't want folk talking to them about their money, unquote.
It is very challenging. It's hard to really earn someone's trust, especially when you're talking about their coins. It's a very sensitive issue. A lot of times people might be embarrassed as far as their current financial state. They feel like they haven't done enough or it's too late. Our philosophy at CLP is never too late. We try to meet you where you are and start a game plan going forward.
Okay. So what's the most ratchet thing you've seen financially?
I would say seeing people who are highly educated, those I've seen, professors, people who are lawyers, have their own business, multi-million-dollar businesses. Mm-hmm. Some people have home health care services that have made millions of dollars and have nothing to show for it. I've seen people who worked, 4 years and that did not save not one dime towards retirement. And then you want to come to us and say you're going to retire in 2 years. How is it you're going to retire when you don't have any money to live off of? So.
That used to blow my mind. My background's in education as well. And I used to talk with teachers who had been in the system in P-Town, Portsmouth, Virginia, for 25, 30 years and never opened a retirement account. Well, the school system, is doing investments for me. Okay, yeah, you're going to get the VRS retirement, the Virginia retirement system, but you need to be doing something else, or else, you're going to only get around 50% of what you've been making. How, are you going to drop 50% of your expense? And it just kind of blew my mind that the people who we put in charge of our children's education were making some fundamentally stupid decisions financially. And I'm saying stupid, so I'm being kind of facetious, but I'm also not being facetious. So how do you get our educators, our educated, our lawyers, our doctors, our business people, how do you wake them up? Because I don't see waking up the common person unless you can wake up the talented 10th, as Booker T placed it.
Well, it's kind of funny because unfortunately the talented 10th, they think that they are already in the know. So it's hard to tell people what to do when they feel like they already know what they're doing, even though they're not doing anything at all. And what people don't realize, especially in retirement, what you have saved is supposed to make up 60% of your income because Social Security is only going to cover 40%. So if you save nothing, how are you going to get to the 60%? And then with the rising cost of health care, most of us don't even have long-term care policies or plans, and people are living a whole lot longer, but they're getting sicker. So they don't even think, going forward, if I do retire, God forbid if I get cancer or any other illness that's very costly, how are you going to pay for those medications? How are you going to afford chemotherapy? Because even on Medicare, there's still some things that aren't covered, and you have to come out of pocket. I've seen so many people who have retired that are now going back to work just to be able to pay for their prescriptions.
At the end, we're going to ask about 4 things that people can walk away from and do definitely tomorrow to make sure that they don't end up in that situation. You're a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Yes. Okay. Ooh, to my sorors.
All right. I'll bring this up because Delta Sigma Theta is one of the most financially solvent organizations of all the Black Greek lettered organizations in the Divine Nine, the Panhellenic Council. what is Delta doing that the others are not doing financially? And I know you kind of look at it, as a sister, but also as a person with a financial mind. And how can we learn from that example?
Well, I know Delta does a lot of forward thinking as far as planning for the future is concerned. Okay. Even now, unfortunately, they have raised our dues to, certain amounts to accommodate some things that are going on in the future. We have been good stewards of our money. We do have 501c3 organizations that's tied into our national organization. So we're able to pool a lot of resources to that and use some of the tax write-offs through our 501c3. And education, economic awareness and involvement is part of one of our 5-point thrusts. So we've worked very hard, not just to be educational or economically sound within the sorority, but also to teach our membership. There's financial fortitude things that we're required to do.
Oh, you say required?
Within our staff. Well, it's part of Delta's initiative. So there are some programs that under our initiatives that we must do. And financial fortitude is one of those programs. So every year we have to do something that is geared towards educating not just the sorority, but the public financially, whether it's first-time home buyers, whether it's in retirement, estate planning. There's something that we have to do as far as financial fortitude is concerned.
All right. Well,
I'm not sure that the other organizations are doing that.
Okay. I won't talk. I won't talk. But the reason I bring that up is it's amazing. Well, the Fred does some great things as well. I'll leave it at that. But the thing that I've noticed is that great, long-standing organizations do things that allow them to be long-standing organizations. So you just described that it was kind of it was important enough to be almost mandated that everybody in this sorority learn certain things and make sure they're teaching certain things to the public. You also mentioned that they raise the rates.
Correct.
Okay. And you're also looking at, let me just work with those two things. So in a family, if I were kind to look at the model that Delta Sigma Theta did, I would make sure that everybody in the family had some level of financial awareness. Secondarily, I would make sure that everybody in the family contributes in a manner that would contribute to longevity, would contribute to sustainability. And that's what I think, two things that I don't see happening in most families in our community, okay? And I don't see them teaching their children about financial interests. I don't see them saying, hey, you have to contribute. I see them saying, hey, like, for instance, I deal with a lot of parents who say, you can get a job and I want you to do whatever you want to with your money because it's your money. Okay, I see you shaking your head.
Absolutely not. We were in a seminar recently and we were talking to one mother and her daughter was there. She was 23 years old, in college, no job. No, I take that back. She wasn't even in college. She wasn't working, but her mother gave her $200 allowance every month for her bills, her cell phone bill, for gas, and just to spend. This young lady is never going to learn any type of work ethic or how to really survive out here in the real world if her mother keeps just giving her money.
But that's my baby. I love my baby.
I don't get it. Another gentleman wanted to become an intern in our office, and he's been a great student at Norfolk State in the honors program, but has never worked a day in his life. And I said, son, I'm a little confused. How is it that I'm supposed to call your reference if you have nowhere for me to call? You never worked at a Wendy's, not a Chick-fil-A, not a Target, not a Walmart, no nothing. And you're a junior in college, getting ready to be a senior. You want to go on to some type of master's program with zero work experience. Why? Because his mama gives him money every month.
Gives him.
Even in college, these kids have got to work. You have to show some type of diversity in your background, especially if you're trying to go on to a master's degree program. Academics these days just don't cut it. The competition, and you know this as a counselor, the competition is just way too stiff.
Right. Wow. I never really considered the disadvantage that our parents put our children in by not making them have work experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I tell students all the time when I'm doing presentations, I'm going to hire the person with experience, more so than the person simply with an education. So we're really doing a disservice to our children, making sure they don't have any experiences. Wow, that's pivotal. That's pivotal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if our children and our families were to do what Delta's doing by making sure that everyone has some level of financial awareness, and secondly, that everybody contributes to the cause and everybody brings value to the table, that would change the trajectory of many of our communities, many of our families. So we use Delta Sigma Theta as an example. Give me another example of somebody or some entity that we could look up to and model their behavior so we can have better fiscal experiences.
I mean, just as far as the entity is concerned, there's just basic principles that we should all follow. Just like the Bible says, the Bible talks about giving a tithe or 10% to, to God or to the church. But we don't take that same mentality and pay ourselves. If you're going to give God 10%, you need to give yourself at least 10%. And I tell all the young people that I meet all the time, okay, you're working at Chick-fil-A. Because you have a W-2, that means that you can open up an IRA at your bank. Go to Navy Federal, go to Wells Fargo, go to Bank of America, and simply open a money market IRA and just start small. Put $20 in it per pay period. You blow that on Starbucks, on buying more Chick-fil-A, on fast food, pizza, whatever. If you can discipline yourself to start small and just putting a little bit away, and then that continues to grow compounded principle, you could be astounded with the amount of money that you will have. The minute a kid gets a W-2, you can establish an IRA, because that's exactly what an IRA is, the individual retirement account for those who are working.
All right, so what do you say to those parents that say you didn't make enough money to file? Do they need to file taxes or anything?
They still need to file. If you are getting taxes taken out of your check, you can file no matter what, because at minimum you'll get what was taken out back as a refund. Download TurboTax and do it yourself. You don't have to pay somebody to do it.
And so that's another area where I see many of our parents placing our children at a disadvantage, saying, you didn't make enough money to file. And like you were just saying, they would at least get what they, if they make under a certain amount, they would at least get that back if they use one of the free platforms like TurboTax.
I mean, TurboTax makes it so easy now. They have an app that you can download on your phone. So.
We're really doing a disservice to our children.
Because I did my own taxes growing up. I started working at 15 and 8 months. When the state of Virginia allowed us to get a work permit, my hindparts was out there working. And I did my own taxes. And this was back before we had all these new wave technologies with apps and all that kind of stuff. We still had TurboTax, but I had to print it out and mail it in just like everybody else.
Right. You've been around a lot of financially well-off people. I mean, you've been around some rich folk.
Right.
What are they doing differently than people who are not so well off?
Well, the biggest thing is that a lot of people who are financially solvent, they have different principles. They don't wear what they make. So instead of going out,
now, I'm blown away because you wear some fly stuff, girl.
I do. But see, I know how to bargain shop. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Shop clearance rack. When Dillard's has additional 30% off sales, coupons, is nothing. And even the wealthy try to get a discount. All the time.
They don't wear what they earn.
No, they don't. They don't drive what they earn either.
They don't drink what they earn.
No, they don't.
Okay. So what do they do with what they earn?
They save it and then they invest it.
Is it that easy?
That you would think it's rocket science, but it's not. You know, people who are well off have, X amount of dollars saved for emergencies. What we do is we unfortunately live paycheck to paycheck. If it's not paycheck to paycheck, we just have a little teeny bit to carry us over. But what happens if your engine blows or you need a new HVAC system? Now you're already behind the 8 ball because you got to rob Peter to pay Paul just to do some basic things that you need to do. We always need to have, X amount of money saved for an emergency fund. Different people have different principles, whether it's, 2 months worth of income up to 6 months worth of income. But you definitely need to have those liquid assets so that you can go to readily at any time. So they have large pools of liquid assets, as well as having investments, life insurance, annuities, lots of different things.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your company, your father's company, or is it shared? Is it just? Are you an employee? Are you part owner? How is that business structured?
I am part owner.
Oh, okay. Boss chick.
I mean, that's the whole point, right? I did quit my good job to come work at CLP. So.
Okay, and is it CLP Financial?
It is CLP Financial Group, yes. And we specialize in retirement planning. We also do tax preparations for individuals and businesses. We do specialize in nonprofit taxes as well. And
nonprofit taxes?
I'm sorry?
You said not-for-profit taxes?
Yes. One of our CPAs does lots of nonprofit taxes. So the 990s for nonprofit organizations, he specializes in those.
Okay. All right, so I'm looking at your website right now. Okay, I guess that's your father's picture there. Is it clptaxadvisory.com?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can go to clpfinancial.com. They both will point to our website.
Okay. Now, I've been in your office and it was really kind of swanky. So tell me about some of the events you do.
Well, we take pride in supporting our clients. So we have one huge client appreciation event once a quarter. Actually, coming up on Valentine's Day, we have a special event for all of our female clients. It's called Ladies in Red. And they're able to come out to the Aberdeen Barn from 2 to 4 and enjoy some wine or hors d'oeuvres and bring their friends. It's just a way for them to introduce their friends to our firm. But typically about 4 times a month, like you can see on the screen, we do hold workshops at the Aberdeen Barn. They're mostly on Tuesdays or Thursdays at 6 p.m. And you're able to hear about some of the great services that we provide, followed by a complimentary steak or seafood dinner on us.
Wow.
And if you go to the scroll up.
Okay. Okay, services, special offers, content.
So if you click on the services tab and click on 401k.
Oh, the rollovers. Okay. 401k. All right. I'm checking it out now.
So that's my page, as I specialize in managing persons' 401ks who are still working.
Okay.
So a lot of times persons in
See, like I said, it looks like you wearing what you earn.
I look like, who said what?
I said, it looks like you're wearing what you earn. You look like $1 million right there.
And our business image is everything.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So, okay. PhD.
So there are persons who have what's called self-directed accounts for their 401ks or 403bs. So for people who have the self-directed option, I'm able to literally go in and manage their 401k, 403b, 457, instead of them having limited options throughout their job. For example, I have hundreds of clients that work for Centera. So with Centera, you're only given 6 options as far as their platform is concerned. But the Fidelity rep is not able to give an individual personal advice. So I'm able to give them options for hundreds of different platforms, as well as customizing their plan as far as their 401k or 403b.
Okay. All right. Well, I learned a lot about your services and what CLP has to offer. I'm really kind of interested, however, if you had a chance to go back in the classrooms that you used to teach in, now with your experience with CLP, what do you think would need to really be part of the curriculum that our children are really subjected to? Or, I'm sorry, our students get the benefit of?
They definitely need to be taught principles as far as saving is concerned. So saving, how to effectively save their money, how to be disciplined with their money, and also teaching them basic principles about investments. What is a stock? What is a bond? What are mutual funds? So they won't be afraid as far as only rich people can have stock, bonds, and mutual funds. That's not the case. Anybody can really go out here and go on Stock Trade or E-Trade and open up a brokerage account. So it definitely teaches them some fundamentals on investing as well.
Okay. Good deal. All right, so let me have 4 things that people will need to do tomorrow if they're not doing today, so that we won't have the type of insolvency that we see in our communities.
Okay, number 1, if you are working and you do not contribute to your 401k plan, you need to talk to your HR representative and start contributing to your plan tomorrow. And like I said, you don't have to contribute, hundreds of dollars at a time. You can start small, whether it's $20 a pay period, $30 a pay period, and just increase it as it goes along. Because the great thing about 401k plans is that money comes directly out of your check. So it's out of sight, out of mind. So definitely number 1, invest in yourself, put money away for your 401k plan. Okay. Number 2, you need to make sure you have life insurance. A lot of people don't understand the value of life insurance. And unfortunately, I just went to the funeral of a close colleague of mine, 47 years old. She passed away. She had a stroke. And, you never know when God is going to call your number. And you need to make sure that you are planning so that your family can continue your legacy after you, that we are not pulling money together, at the last minute trying to put you away nice, like we like to say. So life insurance is definitely imperative. That's number 2. Number 3, you need to make sure you have a plan. A lot of people have statements. They might already be a little more advanced and have a brokerage account, and they're dealing with a Merrill Lynch or Edward James. Having a statement is not having a plan. That's simply a product. So you definitely need to get with a financial advisor or a good financial coach and make sure that you have a game plan that will last you for the long run. And number 4, I would definitely say go on our website and call CLP Tax Advisory Group if you do not have a financial advisor or a financial coach. Our number is listed above, or our local number is 757-366-5242. We definitely have seminars that you're able to attend throughout the year, so you can come out and hear some great financial information. So there are 2 things in this world that everybody needs. We all need a pastor or someone that we can turn to for spiritual advice. And the second thing is we all need a financial coach, somebody that can make sure that our money will last us to the long run.
Okay. All right. So, you've been in the business for a long time. What do you think about companies what do you think about companies such as Primerica? I used to be a part of World Financial Group, WFG. What do you think about those type of companies? They seem to be really large, doing a lot of business. What do you think of companies like State Farm and Allstate that have insurance, who are moving into financial services? What do you think about banks who are moving really heavily into financial services? What would you say about companies, those type of companies?
Well, the biggest thing about a Primerica, World Financial Group, Allstate, State Farm, they all deal with proprietary products. So if you're a State Farm agent, you can only sell State Farm products. Same thing with Allstate. But when you're dealing with a CLP Financial Group or some of your other local agencies, I can just speak for CLP. We're independent agents. So we're able to, based on your goals and what you're trying to achieve, when we create your game plan for you, we can shop your information out to hundreds of insurance companies, hundreds of annuity companies. We deal with only the top mutual fund companies. So that's really the biggest difference. We're able to really customize your plan, not just based on one proprietary product, but really kind of do everything that's best for you.
Okay, so that's how you differentiate yourselves. Okay, good deal. All right, well, Dr. Parson, I'm not sure what else to talk to you about because I need to process what you just said, but you've given us a lot of things that we can go out and do tomorrow, and solution-oriented information is so great. It's so great. Anything else you'd like to say before we end?
I just want to thank you for this opportunity to express the need for having a financial game plan. That's extremely important.
Okay. You know what? Donald Trump. Let's talk about Donald Trump. Yay. Have you looked at the financial policy or the proposed financial policy from our newly elected president of the United States?
Well, he has several policies that aren't favorable to our community. One of the major things that I took a look at is his tax plan and how he's planning to cut out a lot of the head of household and additional deductions that single mothers are able to get, which will be devastating, to our community, because a lot of people live and die by their income tax return.
So what should these single mothers, single fathers who normally get their income tax return and go bawling out, what should they do in preparation? I mean, what should they do?
They should, whatever they get this year, they need to hold their coins, put it in some type of savings account. Don't go out here and buy cars, clothes, shoes with that money, because you might not get it next year. or for the next 4 years.
So if they're moving, if the tax thing is changing, are there any strategies in general? I know you can't speak in specific because everybody's situation is different, but are there any general things that they need to do to prepare for this Trump era?
Well, what a lot of people don't understand is, as far as your refunds are concerned, a lot of people get excited about, having a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 refund. At the end of the day, you're allowing our government to hold your money over this year's time period. They're getting all of the interest off of your money. So instead of anticipating a large refund, you might want to consider increasing the number of exemptions that you have, so then you will be able to have more money in your check. So the more money that you can bring home every other week, every month, yes, it will decrease your refund, but now you can use that money to, like I said, start saving more, put more money away from your 401k, because that's probably the biggest complaint that I hear all the time. They say, Dr. K, I can't afford to put money away. I already have, X amount of bills, X amount of obligations. But if you increase your number of exemptions, then you'll get more money in your check. So you'll have more that you can set aside to save and put away for retirement.
Okay. All right. Well, I think there's nothing else to be said, but as we close in normal, I always say stay fly. So, Doc, you stay fly. Won't be hard for you, right?
Thank you.
All right. Peace.